Good morning and welcome to the Friday video at St. Paul's. During the season of Lent, we've been using Kate Bowler's Lenten study, Have a Beautiful, Terrible Day. This week, she focuses on the Transfiguration, that story where Jesus takes with him Peter, James, and John, and they go up to the mountain, and Jesus has a transfigurative experience before them, where his clothes become dazzling white and he's bathed in light, and the voice of God says, "This is my son, the beloved. With him I am well pleased. Listen to him." And Peter's response to this amazing experience, which is transfigurative for all the disciples, is to say, "It is so good for us to be here. It's good for us to be here." We have those moments in our own lives that we want to return to again and again and again. Those moments that somehow were transfigurative or transformative for us. Perhaps it was a religious experience. Many of you have talked about how those moments come for you in church. Others of you have talked about an experience where you've been with other people of faith, maybe at a retreat or at a summer camp, where you've had a sense of who God was in a way that was, up until that point, otherwise unknown. Some of our transfigurative moments are ordinary in their extraordinariness. I'm reminded of the one in college for me, which changed the trajectory of my life. It was that one moment that marked the signpost in a different direction that kept me from becoming a lawyer and made me a priest instead. I was sitting in my room at my desk reading a book by the Roman Catholic theologian John Donne called The Search for God in Time and Memory. It was for a religion and autobiography course that I was taking. The purpose of that book, the theme of the book, was to learn to pass over into someone else's life so that you might come back into your own with greater awareness in order to hear what God is speaking to you in your own life. It was a complicated book filled with names of philosophers and theologians, writers, teachers, scientists, people many of whom I'd never heard of. So I had to sit back in those days with an encyclopedia in one hand and a dictionary in others, because he also used really big words, even for somebody who had a big vocabulary. But that book was life-changing for me. And as I sat there reading it, drinking my constant comment tea with my highlighter in my hand, I knew that I was hearing something that was going to change my world. It's like a snapshot in time, and I can go back to it. I even remember what kind of tea I was drinking. Constant comment. The long and short of it is you have those moments too. And what are those moments for you? What do they look like? Can you name them to yourself? What was it about them that changed you? In the season of Lent, we stop to listen. We stop to listen for all the ways God's trying to point us in a new direction, affirm the direction we're in, give us counsel, guidance, enfold us in love. But whatever God's trying to say to you, in whatever way that God is trying to say it to you, I hope that you will stop, that you will look, and you will listen. Because transformative moments are still before you, and you never know when they might come.